This podcast holds nothing sacred. This is Life, Tech, and Sundry. And what is Sundry? It's our experiences put in a melting pot to the internet. So join us on this wild ride called the LTS Podcast. Follow us at LT Sundry on Twitter, LTS.pod on Instagram, Life, Tech, and Sundry on YouTube, and all your favorite podcast distribution services. Stay frosty.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this episode of LTS Out of Office. My name is Marcos, and with me I have Big Alan. Sensei, how you doing?
What's going on, Marcos? Thanks again for having me on the podcast. Can't wait to have this conversation.
Amen. So, let's slide in. We were just chatting about food. Before we talk anything else, have you had dinner?
To be honest, bro, I had lunch, no dinner, but I don't know if I was actually in the mood to eat dinner, but I was kind of reminiscing about what we had last time as a group.
Yeah.
For the listeners out there, we had a great time, I want to say about 2 weeks ago or so.
Give or take, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say the Lopez clan for...
No, we can't catch L's. We only catch W.
We kind of had made a little side trip to a nice little, Korean
little chicken escapade.
Yes, a little Korean fried chicken spot with me and the boys, or the boys and I rather.
The boys.
And yeah, we had a great time, great combo. Grandpa was in full effect with the stories.
It's because he's a menace. He's a menace. Rest in peace.
Mensch, a true mensch. And definitely had a great time, great food. We had delicious 2 styles of fried chicken, boneless. Some might call it, glorified chicken nuggets, but no. They're not your ordinary dino nuggies.
Even though we talked about that in there.
They were proper fried chicken morsels, if you will. And we also were sharing, what else did we share?
Pastries, those weird the
Korean
bread
style donuts, right?
There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was amazing with the dipping sauce. That was really good. But before the dessert, we also had
the drinks. Don't forget the drinks.
The little, what's it called? The little dumplings, the fried dumplings.
Yes.
Those were really good. And we also had the tteokbokki, I think it was pronounced. Again,
yes.
Don't come at us.
We're not
in the comments. We're not professional,
fluent at all or any sense. We only speak Spanglish.
We barely speak English and Spanish. And yeah, so it was a Korean spot. So we did try to eat outside of our comfort boxes, right? Especially with Marcos's brother. But yeah, we all enjoyed the food thoroughly. It was really good. The drinks were great. I had the yuzu. I don't know, what drink did you have, Marcos?
The blueberry one, iced tea, I think it was, something with berries, a lot of berries.
Was yours very sweet, or was it?
A touch of acidic and sweet, not super sweet. It was balanced.
Okay.
Like blueberry.
Okay. That sounds good.
They had blueberries at the bottom. Did you have fruit in yours?
Yeah, I had pieces of yuzu at the bottom. But again, I didn't really pay attention because the food was so good.
Okay.
So I wasn't looking at the bottom of the actual cover. Is this fresh?
The
yuzu?
steamed dumpling just disappeared.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, that was all so tasty. And I remember Moises saying that he was actually surprised with what's it called? The rice cakes.
Yes.
Again, maybe from another place, if we could compare in another spot at a later date, maybe we can compare those dishes that we had if we ordered somewhere else to see where they kind of rank. But again, still very tasty food. I thought the ambiance was pretty good. We didn't have too many people around us. And then once we started finishing up, it started flooding, it started filling up the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really nice to see that people were actually coming in and eating. I think the highlight was the stories.
Definitely.
It was definitely the stories.
Seasoning was the food, and the highlight was the main dish was the stories.
Definitely was. Even now, I think it would be a good idea to start planning for our next escapade. Yes? Food
escapade. The other ones that I was suggesting, not only that we go Korean style, but we try one time South American. I pushed towards Peruvian because of my coworker. He's good. Even though he's from Guatemala, he what's the word? He supports Peruvian dishes, Colombian dishes, Venezuelan dishes.
Okay.
I don't know why, but he's you can't miss with those. If you get a good spot, you can't miss. So if I were to choose one of the three, I would say Peruvian.
Okay, that sounds very good. And there's pretty good spots out here where we at. I could definitely recommend maybe 2 or 3. I would definitely leave that up to you guys to decide, especially if seafood is something that you're into. I think things like ceviche are really popular in Peruvian food.
Off my dome piece, I would say jalea. I've had experiences.
Jalea is really good. Yes.
What's another one? I think they're also famous for their seasoning on chicken and beef. So let's find out.
Oh, right. Pollo a la brasa is very popular. As one good friend of ours, a friend of the show, has told us, Karin, which we should definitely.
I don't want to point it, but yes.
Yeah, ask her to definitely point us and direct us towards a spot, probably. But I remember her explaining that a lot of the times you should be on the lookout for great sauces that complement the actual food that you're eating. So usually there's this sauce called
garlic sauce.
I want to say it's garlic sauce, but it's different because she calls it like ají. Like ají obviously means like peppers or spicy chilies, but there's an actual name to these type of sauces. Just like I guess in Mexican cuisines, you have like salsa verde, salsa roja, and different things
Salsa
like that.
borracha.
Salsa borracha.
Even though there's one that's literally translated to sauce of the lazy, still really good. Salsa de las huevonas. I'm like, why do you call it sauce of the lazy?
Lazy person?
Yeah.
That's a great question. Yeah. I have no idea.
Many questions right there. Mole.
Right. But for them, they have I think it's called like a rotisserie type of sauce. They have.
I know they
have like this green sauce.
Right?
They have like ají verde, and they have like this one that's orange and one that's like more like either pinkish or. But
you've said enough. You've convinced me.
Yeah, no, and they all have like different degrees of spiciness and different degrees of not degrees, but complex layers of flavors that
They're
go
profiles.
well, or they meld well with the food that you're eating, right? So like the cremita or salsa de polleria, I believe it's called. Again, don't come after my head.
Quote me on that one.
Yeah, but from what I remember, Karin telling us it goes really well with el pollo a la brasa and stuff like that. There's another one that goes well with like things like chifas, right, or chaufa, the fried rice.
That's a native word, probably, isn't it?
Yeah, that comes from China, but it's been adopted obviously for the application of the fried dishes that are made in Peru as well. So you have like this Andean Chinese mix of foods where you have like arroz chaufa, you have tallarín, and you'll have this the Italian influence where you have like tallarines verdes. Obviously their staple is potatoes, so potatoes.
Yuca.
I don't know about yuca. I know they have yuca like frita, and they have like a derivative of what they're like papa a la huancaína, and then they'll have like yuca a la huancaína. So they use the same huancaína sauce.
Yeah.
And they'll have either a papa that's been fried, or in the case of papa la huancaína, it's boiled.
Mm.
And then for la yuca frita, it's obviously fried, and then it has a huancaína sauce to go to complement it. And then they usually serve that with olives and hard-boiled eggs.
Okay.
And in that sense, I think it's a very delicious like appetizer. Another appetizer, like at least for me, appetizer, like the way I would look at or consider it would be the one you mentioned, the jalea. Oh, bro, the deep fried seafood. So
they probably have paella too. If you said they have rice game.
To be quite honest, again, because it's like fried rice, like Chinese style, it's a little different.
Yeah.
So it's not as if you're making
full on paella.
Right. It's like you don't have the saffron. Basically, you have more of like Chinese elements, where you have like the wok that they use to actually fry the rice, and they use very Andean or Peruvian spices that they have there that go well with the food. So you have like some versions of arroz chaufa that are more, as Karim would explain it, or more Peruvian style and more Chinese influence style, where it's heavier in the Chinese influence. But both are very delicious, depends on who's cooking. Same thing with pollo a la brasa, same thing with lomo saltado, Same thing with.
I've heard that one too.
Yeah, the platillo bistec a lo pobre. Good lord, it's like, yeah, if you're pobre, like I want to be pobre every day. If that's the case, that's
What does it mean again? Yeah, can you elaborate?
So basically, it's like it would be your rice. You can usually switch off if you just want white rice or chaufa, and then you have your bistec, and then it has the potatoes. It has what's it called? Like a saltado almost on it, like to go accompany with it, like the tomatoes and the onions. So it's a very complete meal. It's very filling. You would almost think like the
is it like bandeja paisa kind of style?
Almost like that style without the bananas. Unless you ask for the bananas, I think.
Unless you
because the fried plantains or something of that nature, right? But
without the banana, unless you ask for, unless.
But that's very. I guess I want to say it's like one of those things where it's one of those dishes that's very complete, very hearty, very filling, and it's something that you eat that, and it's like that one hit, one and done type of meal.
I'm done eating and that.
Yeah, bro. I want to say like for me, like when I go to Peruvian restaurants, usually my go-to, like for every type of restaurant I go to, I usually ask for like, I want to say the very typical type of things just to kind of gauge the quality of restaurant. As an example, I go to a Mexican restaurant, usually my 2 or 3 go-to dishes that I ask for to kind of measure or gauge how good, like if they can make a proper torta or a proper guacamole.
Brother.
Right? Or
yes.
a proper guacamole, or even a proper, let's say, something that's pretty typical of Mexican food. Besides the guacamole and the what's it called?
Can they
torta? I want to say that it's probably something along the lines of, I would say tacos, but depends. If there's
a soft shell.
If there's something that
fritos.
Yeah, if they say it's kind of like
flour.
If they say it's kind of like, how can I put it? Let's see. If they say if it's a taqueria, I would kind of like think about it, right? Because you would hope that the tacos are good, but then you would assume that everything else is kind of right? So that's why I kind of go to Mexican restaurants with that kind of idea in my mind.
Yeah.
If I ask one of those 2 or 3 items, and if they're good, then I kind of have a better feeling on gauging how the other things are. So say maybe their, I guess, weekend menu is gonna be pretty good, right? So maybe they'll have like un bistec a la mexicana, or bistec, what some people call azteca, or whatever they want. Yeah, I know. Sometimes they're very creative with their names and have nothing to do with the originals, right? But like it's not like you're gonna It's not like you're gonna go to a restaurant and ask for a pipián. They usually don't do that. Or guacamole.
What'd you call it?
Yeah, exactly. It's because predominantly the Mexicans over here in New York, or Puebla, York, as we call it,
I feel like the LT is going to coin that.
Yeah, it's like you're not going to get Tijuana style food. You're not going to get food that's very typical in Guadalajara or Monterrey.
It's kind of funny though, even though we're that far from Puebla.
Yeah, and you'll see more of like mole poblano,
Poblanos,
right?
People from Puebla.
Right. You're going to have like pozole, and typically blanco. It's not going to be red.
Of the country.
Not going to be the green one, right?
Or the red one.
Over there, probably in places in the north part of Mexico, maybe in states like Texas, or states like Arizona or
New
California,
Mexico.
you might know them as gorditas, right? Or sopes or something like that. Usually over here, we call them memelas. That's something that we call a certain item that's very similar or exactly the same as something that other states of the Mexican Republic call something else, right? People over here usually do carne enchilada. Other places would call them adobado, right?
I've heard it that way.
Yeah. So again, this, right? Esquites or the corn off the cob.
Yes.
With the mayo and the lime and all the tajin or whatever, you'll get that very differently prepared or made in different places.
But it's literally corn. How can they do it differently?
Exactly. Excuse me.
And then there's the semitas. Ironically, not everywhere in Mexico semitas is made.
Right. Not everywhere.
It's only in the
Mexico.
core.
It's only in, yeah, exactly.
Or specifically Puebla.
And it's a semita, an authentic semita from Puebla, when you have the bread has to be special bread, right? Specially made bread.
Yeah.
And then papalo has to be introduced in there.
Papalo is not regional, right?
I think it's heavily used where we're from, where the family's from. It's not very typical.
Cilantro, perejil, and papalo. That's
I would say cilantro is more of a staple around.
Coriander.
Right? And I would say another staple would be something like thyme, right? Or tomillo.
Yes. What's perejil in English?
That would be not cilantro, I'm sorry. Perejil would be
not rosemary, right?
No. It's called, good Lord, why am I blanking on the name?
Keep going and I'll look.
It's the one that looks like cilantro, but it's not cilantro.
I told my story that I messed it up.
Yes.
As a kid.
Got the life beat out of you.
By grandma.
Oh, yes.
Not our grandma.
No, of course. It's called
parsley.
There you go. So I would say between cilantro, parsley, thyme, bay leaf, I want to say.
You mean bay leaf, not like Baileys. You mean Baileys.
Yeah, bay leaf, which would be called laurel, are the things that you would see more. Spices, you probably see more things like canela. You'll see more like
clavos,
anís estrella. Yeah, those are the things. Cumin. Those are the things that you probably see most of. Salt and pepper, of course.
That's a season.
But like the things that you would kind of typically see like more in the countryside, more like in small towns and stuff, are things like pipicha.
Mm-hmm.
It's like what we mentioned before, papalo.
Papalo.
Yeah, and then there's another one besides those two, right? Pipicha and papalo. I'm pretty sure there's another one.
Ontle e pasote. There you go.
Yeah, those are like the ones that are
or guasontle.
The guasoncles are good too, but those are like, I want to say, the ones that are kind of like more.
Even the word. Listen to the word that I said. Papalo, guasontle, pipicha.
Yeah.
Just the words. There's no English for it. It's literally native words.
And so those are the things that you would probably see more in the countryside. It has a like very special flavor. If you could kind of like summarize it in that one word, special, as in it goes well with certain dishes, and a dish isn't complete if it doesn't have that type of herb, and it gives the food. Right, exactly. Right. In order for it to be called semita, that's part of the ingredient to call it, right? Or what's it called? You mentioned rosemary and stuff.
Rosemary, yeah.
Right. Those are like, I want to say those are ingredients that you see, but again, it's not used heavily, I want to say, in traditional Mexican dishes from Puebla. I'm not sure about other spots of the
Mexico's
Republic.
a big country. There probably is something.
Yeah, there might be, because excuse me, I will usually see more making tamales with corn husks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And some other parts of down south use banana leaves.
Banana leaves.
Or plantain leaves, yeah. So it really depends on where you are. And again, you'll see more of that in the Northeast, especially in the New York area. You'll see a lot of like influence of Puebla. Places like in Chicago, you probably see more people from like Oaxaca and stuff like that. It's very Puebla York-ish, if you will.
Puebla influence is very strong. I don't want to say in Florida because I have no experience in Florida, but going up on the Northeast, I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. You can draw your conclusion, listeners.
Some people might want to blame my grandfather, but it's okay. You can do that.
I'd blame my granddad. You get a car. No, you know what I mean.
But interestingly enough,
how did Mexico made it to Germany?
To Peru.
To Germany?
To Germany without a
in the 80s?
Yes. Yeah, but like going back to Peruvian food, like a lot of the people from Peru that I know from here are typically from Lima, right? From the capital.
Yeah.
And you'll have like a couple of people that are from Cusco or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those melting of flavors are really cool. I would say like like if I were to go to a typical Peruvian restaurant, usually the three things that I would kind of order to gauge how hopefully good the food is going to be is usually tallarines verdes, chaufa probably, and I would either say papa la huancaína or their jalea, one of the two.
Yes, bro.
Depending.
Yes.
Just because like those are, I guess, not that you can't mess them up, but it's like they're not many ingredients, and it's like usually they already have someone that is proficient making it so you feel comfortable with that person. If they make the dish really well, you would hope that if you ask for the bistec pobre, or if you ask for some other dish, that it's going to be like really, really good. One of those dishes that I think are really good, that are like, I guess you can say more of a homemade type of dish, are like things like ají de gallina, right? Or causa rellena, right? Those to me are like really, really good home cooked meal type of dishes that you don't see much. Like you can get the anticuchos. Those are delicious depending where you go. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mark.
No.
Oh, you're pondering what you're going to order? Yes. I would say like if you're the type of person that
I did try their fries.
Yeah, I would say that the yuca frita with the huancaina sauce would probably be right up your alley if you want something like that. Obviously, papa la huancaina is also delicious, but if you want that fried texture, I would highly suggest the yuca frita. What's it called? As far as other dishes that are probably, I guess, safe for people to try without,
Safe.
going. Yeah, I would say like if you're not very adventurous with your food and you don't want anything too exotic, I would say try to order first those type of dishes that are kind of like
Tallarines is pasta? What is tallarin? Sorry.
Yeah, it's basically pesto pasta, but Peruvian style.
Yes.
And different restaurants use different types of pasta, and different restaurants also have a different type of viscosity of the sauce. Some people are more herbaceous with their sauces. Others are more creamy with their sauces. It really depends who's making the food. But personally, I haven't found a tallarin verde yet that I haven't liked. So,
which says a lot.
Yeah, it does. Again, maybe because I'm not picky.
You hungry when you want it.
Yeah, basically I go and I'm not as picky as maybe like a little kid or anything like that. So even if there's I wouldn't say inconsistencies, but maybe it's just that the way they prepared their food.
Yeah.
But like I'm not gonna look at it and be like, oh, this is
it's not like my house cooking.
Right, exactly.
Because I'd
much rather try it out and decide for myself if that's the type of food that I enjoy eating. And usually I'll enjoy eating it, and I'm not gonna nitpick crazy.
And like we created the memories alongside with the food.
Exactly. The arroz chaufa.
Yeah.
Again, you can get arroz chaufa different ways. You can get tallarines different ways as well. There's a thing called aeropuerto, or if you want tallarines salteados, delicious. There's different dishes, and the ingredients are very, I guess you can say, they meld well with other styles of cooking in the Peruvian type of styles of cooking.
Yes.
Or preparing. And again, jalea is, to me, I would say jalea is one of those things that is really great when you want to share with a bigger group, because usually they'll have like jalea personal, usually like a personal sized jalea. But if you have,
is your family and
3,
personal?
4, 5 people, I would say get the jalea familiar, and then everybody gets a little bit of something, right? So you'll either get like fried fish, calamari, fried yuca, all mixed up with usually, if they're, I wouldn't say good restaurant, but usually a good restaurant will hold it down with chisbits, or in this case purple onions, in lime greasiness and heaviness of the fried food. And then obviously the dipping sauce, usually they'll hold it down with what's it called, tartar sauce. But you can also ask for the green sauce or any other sauce that they might have, which pairs with fried food really well. What's another one?
I feel like that's what Mexican cuisine is different. Each dish is personal to you, and the Peruvian is like personal and family dishes in our area of cuisine.
I guess the biggest difference I could see from our
serving it, if you will.
Well, I guess you could say family meal, like your family style.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you're trying to, or what you're referring to. Yeah, I guess you can say that.
In Mexican cuisine, they're not gonna make a mole or pozole, make the whole olla, if you will, for the whole family. No, they're gonna serve you a pozole for you, a dish itself.
I guess to that point where it's like they're making pozole, everybody's eating pozole. It's not like everybody's getting a different dish. And I think that more happens when you're in a restaurant setting. I don't pretend to know, but I don't think that in a Peruvian household you're gonna have like that, where some people are gonna get arroz chaufa, others gonna get some other dish, right? Tallarines verdes, and someone else is gonna get, I don't know, like causa rellena or anything like that. I think it's
Versus
like
in the restaurant, it blends well when the Peruvians, by the way you're saying it. I like, this is me doxing myself. I haven't gone to that many restaurants, to a Mexican restaurant specifically, and say, oh, I'll have a mole family size, and like the whole.
oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but usually that you see that more with appetizers in Mexican food in a restaurant setting, not so much in a house setting, right? So you'll say like you'll get like the nacho supreme or something like that, right? Or whatever ridiculous name restaurants call Mexican dishes nowadays.
Taco Bell's calling.
Yeah, exactly. So you get like the nacho supremo, right? So you get like this big plate full of tortilla chips with the melted cheese, the beans, and the sauce, the crema, pico de gallo, right? And guac, right?
Yes.
And if you're very dangerous, they'll ask you, pollo, bistec, or chorizo, right? Or longaniza, or whatever the case is.
You just say yes.
And you can just say, los tres golpes, por favor, right?
Damn, the three that hit me with all three.
Exactly.
3 deaths.
Which reminds me, I believe that's the dish name in DR, right? In Dominican Republic, where they have a dish called los tres golpes. And I think it's like fried cheese, fried salchichon, and fried eggs. And that's the el tres golpes. I'm like, that's delicious. I would definitely get something like that.
Actually.
It really is.
Don't get me started with Caribbean food now. DR food, oh.
DR food sounds delicious. Yeah.
What is it?
PR food is good. Cuban food is good.
The pork shoulder one?
The Jamaican food is delicious. Yeah. Oh man, pernil is awesome.
With the rice?
Mm-hmm. The arroz con gandules.
Or arroz moro?
Yeah.
But that's
I think typical for them is arroz con gandules and PR, but
and I said
the white rice. And DR, DR has really good food too. They have obviously mofongo, tostones. They have really good food. They have
what's the one with
crazy drinks like that. I like to drink the morir soñando type of drinks.
What's the one that A-Rod would say he would always eat?
But I think A-Rod's Puerto Rican, isn't he?
Yeah, but what's the dish like with potatoes and all those things? Yeah, no yuca, no. It's like with a like a mayonnaise sauce. Like it's potato yuca mixed, and that's like a very carb heavy dish.
Don't remember, bro. That's a good one.
But continue.
Yeah. So where was I? Yeah. So Peruvian food, definitely.
South America.
Yeah, we should definitely go
south of the border, south of the Mexican border. Oh, a Peruvian. His name is what's his name? Not Ben. Sam. I call him Sam. I forgot his name. He said, "Yo, Mexico is America's." He's from Long Island. He would say Mexico. When I was in university, Mexico is America's south of the border. If you're gonna run away from America, Peru in South America is basically if you want to run away from Mexico. Like you just disappear in there.
Dang.
That's how he put it.
Yeah, no, like another dish from Peru that I really enjoy is ají de gallina. It's like a creamy sauce, and usually it's yellow because they put ají amarillo, and it's like an actual cream sauce because they actually add, I want to say, in the mix, the blender. Mango. Okay, yeah, mango's dope. I would definitely eat some mango right now.
Mango's like carb heavy though, right? Potatoes.
I think it's plantain, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's exactly how it sounds. mango.
Mango, of course.
Mango.
Chicharrón, mango, tostones fritos, some habichuelas.
Maduros, no man.
I know they do a really good what's it called? Coconut shrimp. I don't know if it's a Dominican dish or a Puerto Rican dish, but they do coconut shrimp and it's really good.
Is Peru?
And I want to say when they do ceviches, they'll do like ceviche de mariscos or ceviche de camarón, and obviously those are delicious. Fresh shrimp.
Don't scrimp on the shrimp.
Right, exactly. And then obviously they cook it in the lime juice. And as you know, Mr. Marcos, like many things in other countries, usually when you have the lime tree in the backyard, you're actually able to cut the limes, and they actually
grandma
have juice. Yeah, exactly.
Grandma would get it like that.
Exactly, and that you actually have juice in the limes.
Like why are you? Fresh. You look like you're sucking down a lemon. Was not an insult over there because you'd literally be sucking down on a lemon. It was so good and refreshing.
What's also great is the fact that you could go in the backyard, grab a lime, grab fresh avocados, right?
Mm-hmm.
And over here we're struggling, right? What's it like $3-4 per avocado now? Or if you want to go to the mango tree, grab yourself a couple of mangoes. Over
No,
here,
there was the
they're
other
like
one. The one that you open it and it looked like cotton balls inside, but they were sweet.
Vainas?
Yeah. There was another name. So chile, something like that. I continue. I'll let you know.
If you
Some
remember.
vainas, yeah, they're long, but they have inside those things.
The cotton, yeah. I remember what you're talking about. What's it called? The other thing that I would probably suggest that.
No, that's something else. Tejocote,
No, that's something else. Yeah, that's almost like a small peach of some sort.
It would make a great bussin' tea in the holidays.
Yes. I think in Central America they call it nance, if I'm not mistaken.
The drink?
Tejocote. What's it called, bro? In Peru you can get the chicha morada, which is amazing. And I think one of those things that kind of people don't really think about, but is really good, and it probably would complement like a ceviche or something, would be cancha.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like toasted corn kernels, and it really goes well with ceviche and whatnot. I would definitely suggest people get that or order it when they get there, if they don't already give it out with your ceviche or whatnot. Another thing I would probably suggest people try at least is like mazamorra. It's like their dessert, which is really tasty and is also made from purple corn. I'm trying to think what other dishes that would probably be good to try on a first time.
Allegedly, it's a Mexican fruit with cotton but sweet. Is like it referring to paterna, also known as Kushman. No, in Guatemalan cuisine, no, right? It's not
Kush.
that.
Smoking that good Kush, bro?
No.
What's going on, sir?
That good, he says.
This is a family place, sir.
No, I'm talking about like is it a fruit or a vegetable? It's a fruit, right?
It's a fruit. It has seeds, no?
Yes.
That's why tomatoes are considered fruits.
Picay fruit? No, it's picay, yeah. Green bean? No, it's not the cream bean, right?
Green beans, no.
Cream,
Green
CREAM.
beans. No, I don't think so.
Both sweet, subtly
put
vanilla
vainas, bro.
flavor? Vainas?
Put vainas. Let's see what comes out.
V or B?
I think with a V. V for victory. Vainas.
The fruit described as vainas, like cotton but sweet in Mexico cuisine, often also found in Guatemala. It's likely the paterna, Cushin, Cushin fruit, characterized by its peeped shape. No. And is a fluffy white cotton candy, right? Yeah.
When that's peep
With a touch of vanilla. It had a native name in Mexico. A high source of vitamin C, fiber, and potassium, and iron and calcium. Yeah, I would grab that from Grandma's tree. And she said, "Yeah, you never had this. Yeah, I had these in the street market. They sell them." Because one grandma had basically all those resources. The other grandma sold them in the market.
You go, bro.
But they never met each other.
Really? They never met?
No, they did. They one time went to Temazcal. What's that in English?
A steam room, I guess you can call it.
Yes, they
Steam
took a
bath?
shower and everything. That's my mom's mom, right?
Mhm.
She grew up going to temazcales and all those things, taking showers and with the daughters and the family and all those things, like in Asian culture.
Okay, like their
Going to
onsen culture, right?
Yeah, and they take a shower and everything. And literally, she would go to the small town out of our small town, so the even smaller town in Ashokopan.
Okay.
Back then, right? And she would just shower with her daughters and all those things on one Sunday, right after coming from work, and then go into that steam. It's like religious, if you will, and just get a steam bath, lay down, like you go in like a little tunnel, walking in all fours, get in, and you lay down, and the furnace is like 10 feet to your right, and just blowing in the steam, and everyone would have leaves in there. You're laying down, sweating everything out,
And
and having like those green leaves. And just like fanning yourself or touching. The only refreshingness was the leaf tapping you, because everything is hot and you don't stand up. You lay down
I see what you're
on rock slab, on smooth, like super, smooth rock slab.
Yeah.
And you just lay down there and just breathe the heat and just let it sweat it out.
Yes.
And then you don't walk out. You walk like in a doggy door out. You just crawl out in the tunnel.
It's basically a human oven.
Yeah. Misa was taken there as a baby. I went there, and they would have one days just women's, or other days family. And
Right.
they would have the locker at the end. They would have the water tank, and smack them a long one in the middle. And you would get your little chairs in the cubeta, whatever, and you shower, get everything. My mom's mom invited my grandma's mom. Grandma's mom was more like, why are they all getting naked? Why? And our cousin over there, one cousin that would always stick Gabby, went with him like, don't worry, grandma, you don't need to you don't need to look at them. Like, you just give them a shower. My mom's mom said, don't worry, miss, we got you. Just get the cleaning. My mom was there. Aunt Patty was there. Gabby was there. Like, you just clean yourself, and you want to go into the tunnel? Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Very true. Very true.
We crawl in. Like, it was so hot. Like, hey,
I can imagine, bro.
Because there's a furnace 10 feet here to
Yeah.
for just straight fire. Literally.
Lazy.
Like mixtape level.
It's been hot. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just lay down and pray if you want. You could just pray, whatever, stay there for 10, 30 minutes.
Yeah, dude. Those are good times.
And then just get out. You can get out and like, ooh, I took a shower, and then I sweated, and then I just added more water to clean my, if you want to, shower yourself off even more. And it was a small town. So they would just hang out, have like, not a cup of milk, maybe water, juices to come out once you're done out of there. And sit in where you'd pay, where the stall is to pay. They would have little chairs where you can sit down and just chat and all those things. If you wanted to wait to grandma, all those things. I would wait with my brother outside, play, literally kicking rocks, having fun, looking, exploring the town. And while mom and grandma and aunt would take their showers. And then come back, you guys took your shower? Let's go. That was their Sunday after going to work. But yeah.
I'm trying to remember my experience when I was younger.
Going to a temazcal, my boy. Like,
it was good. It was a good experience.
and there's different levels of over there. It's literally the business is to make the mascales, steam showers.
Really? Is it?
Ashokopan, at least I knew of 6.
Damn.
And I would go walking from Atlisco to Ashokopan. Like, let's walk for 3 hours.
I kind of want to build one.
Let's just walk 3 hours though to that other town. Careful with the cattle. Careful with the cornfield. Careful with the. You're building up a sweat to get there.
No, yeah, exactly.
But this is after working, so you're already tired.
No, of course. I do kind of want to build one though. Have that one on like the property.
On tap.
Yeah, bro, just to have access to it whenever I need it. It's so.
I don't know.
useful,
Over there,
bro.
there's just too many. The local culture also involved horror stories, not of people getting hurt. So that's other stuff
Is
that
it getting
is in
cooked
the
alive or something?
no pre-Hispanic culture.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So there's not that it's a horror story. It's just you think of it as horror story. Now I know it's just boogeyman kind of style. Just be respectful of those things, because if you're not, you're being like curious with wandering eyes. The devil will literally come from the fire and take you. So it's like, okay, don't do it. Just be respectful and put the fear of a god into you.
Oh, I see.
Be respectful, and it's like you're everyone putting in the they've been in the trenches. Let them relax. But that was the culture there locally in the Ashokopan. I don't know. What's your story behind Ashokopan? Do you have any like understanding of that location?
I just had really good memories of going over there and swimming.
That's literally just the place where a water is being a fountain is of water being naturally born.
Yeah, exactly.
A spring. Yeah. The fun part was once you to the left of it and going into that water park, there's like literally that like man-made waterway from that place, and people would go down the river to that or quote unquote water stream, and they would wash their veggies from that same water spring that people would use.
The water was multi-purpose.
The saying is that Ashokopan is where water is born.
Right. Definitely, like I remember going and swimming. I remember going and eating over there. Like it was good memories. I don't quite remember the water park that you mentioned.
Ashokopan?
Yeah, but then again, I went back, like I want to say in the 90s, bro.
Yeah, no. I went in 1999 once, and then I didn't remember where that was. And then like once you're there, let's go walking. We just have to go up north, turn left, cross the park, cross the ravine, or you could cross via car across the ravine on these sides from the plantations. Quiet, so you already know. Be wary.
Right.
And then like there's cattle here. Careful with the cattle poop and all those things, because those paths are dirt, straight dirt. and they're only used by cattle, so they're wide.
Yeah.
And you'd see people walking around in their horses and all those things. Hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? But like, and it's a waterway, and then careful with those cow pies.
Yes.
So don't step on them.
Very large.
Yes, large, like literally bigger, like a concha, literally a concha,
Damn.
chocolate concha on the floor, huge.
That's wild. The way you... Nah, I can't eat conchas ever again, bro. You gave me that mental image.
They probably got the design from that because it was designed. They're designed like that naturally in the air. Like there's just no flies on them because they're just straight dry for days there.
Wait, are you really saying that conchas got their name because of the...
Oh no, the design, not the name, the design.
Well, isn't the design because of that? The conchas, like the shell?
Man, I don't know. In the middle of the land, where would you see a shell there? Aside from a turtle.
I don't think they derived it because they had accessibility to the sea. I think they just made it sound, or they gave it the name because it sounded nice comparatively to what the design was.
And that's probably even the Spanish version because they had access to the sea even. I don't know what the original native name is.
I have no. Well, I don't think they made that bread because they never really messed with flour. I think flour was an ingredient that was brought over from Europe.
Yeah.
So I think the most that they've had, or what pre-Columbian civilizations had there, was corn. That's why we have tamales.
True. Have we made an episode about that?
Yes, delicious.
But yeah, if we go to eat one day, we go to Temazcal, having in your backyard, like above ground or underground? And that's my question. Going back to your steam rooms, if you would
Above ground.
Above ground?
Yeah, like an actual little hut or something of that nature. Yeah,
sounds cool. And then you'd be like Asian style, have different incense if you want to have there. Or just straight heat.
Yeah, why not? Nice little heat, and then getting smacked around with the herbal medicines.
Those leaves. Yo, I'm telling you, the heat, like them, they were just moving hot air. The coolness was the leaf itself touching you. You'd smack yourself with the leaf just to get cool because that's how hot it was.
But I remember those had special properties, right? Like
you tell me.
I don't know.
That's a pre-Hispanic thing, pre-Columbian thing.
I'm guessing they had like different types of herbs that they would use to like, I don't know, make you,
to beat the evil out of you. Just sweat it out, sweat the evil out.
I don't know. I think it was more like having like the eucalyptus and stuff like that to kind of open up your pores and let you sweat out the actual.
In winter, though, realistically speaking, winter places, is it safe to have your pores open?
That's a great question. I don't know. I'm not a
doctor. Exactly. I'm just a question.
I'm not a dermatologist. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. Because I know people that go up and skiing and stuff. They have those type of steam rooms.
Lodges, yeah.
Yeah, and then they'll go dunk themselves in like ice water. I've never really understood that.
I didn't think about it, yeah. But then for me, I mean, food, taking a good shower, and bathroom and food. I don't know. I mean, it's just that's how in Mexico, like, and then Peruvian. Imagine having some Peruvian food in Atlisco. That would be kind of awesome.
A Peruvian restaurant? Yeah, that would be awesome.
You'd be like hitting niche, but how would you bring in the seafood? That would be the issue.
I remember in Puebla they have a spot, like a warehouse where you can actually buy, and they have seafood coming in, or fish and seafood coming in daily.
By Las Truchas over there up north.
Yeah, but that's more like a river. That's more river fish. It's not seafood.
I mean, what is a sea but a big river? No, man. I'm being semantical here.
Yes. But yeah, like if we were to really think about what type of cuisine you're gonna get, I think you would probably want to get the ingredients, or at least try to get the food that, or the ingredients that,
right? It's just
the ingredients that you're able to have access to, and whatever other ingredients you can try to source from Peru or something, try to bring it over, would probably be the dishes that you can probably mess with, like the ingredients to make pollo a la brasa or something like that. You would need
chicken.
Yeah, exactly. But then the seasoning has to be right, and then the rotisserie, right, the spit that you use to actually cook it, you would need. If you're gonna make that arroz chaufa, you're gonna need the ingredients to make that, right? So rice is probably plentiful in Mexico, but then again, you would probably look for the seasoning that needs to go along with that. Same thing with tallarines verdes, right? You can probably find a spot that makes pasta, or you can buy pasta, but now you need the ingredients to make the pesto sauce.
I told you, right? My mom one time made pasta over there in Mexico. My
Okay.
grandma didn't know what it was. Aunt Patty knew what that was. Oh, you just made pasta. And then grandma's like, what did you say?
How
Pasta.
dare you?
Yeah, what is that? Pasta. And then
Not in my
Uncle Tony is like, what is that? Because she bought the noodles
Right.
or the spaghetti,
Yes.
and she bought the ham and just cut it into smaller pieces.
What's
saying
that pasta you make?
pasta on white sauce and with pesto.
Very good.
And then she's like,
Sounds
this is just simple. Like she made it right there. Like, what is that? What is that? Because she knew pasta and to make it a sopa de fideos,
Yes.
which is like a super thinner one noodle.
Right.
And you make it into a soup, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Soup.
Sopa aguada.
Yeah, sopa aguada. There you go. Versus you add the sauce. You add the sauce later, not while it's cooking, because over there you sopa de fideo, sopa aguada. It's hot, and you add lemon as
Okay, I see.
into the fideos. It's the carbs, whatever the liquid is of a sauce,
Yes.
and you add fideos, and you can eat that with the serrano on the side, and that
My.
Mexican style noodle soup, I guess.
I guess so.
And then, but my mom said, no, I'm gonna get you a thicker, because they got what's it, like a Sam's
Yeah.
Club equivalent, just open.
I think
you know.
they're a subsidiary of Walmart. If I'm not mistaken.
Okay, equivalent of a Walmart just opened up. Let me just go over there. And my grandma's like, that's too rich for me. Okay,
Really?
do your thing, grandma, because she works in the street market, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
That's the street. Her bread and butter is the streets, right? The street market.
Mm-hmm.
And
No, I
like,
get what you're saying.
that's too rich for me. Like, there's a parking lot. What the? There's a movie theater, and like all those things. Even though she had a 1970s movie theater down the street in front of
Yeah.
an elementary school, so
Well,
it's like.
I would also imagine that you're not gonna really find either dry, ready to cook pasta or fresh pasta in el mercado.
In the street market, correct.
So that would have
You'd
been
find tomatoes, you'd
Yeah.
find onions, you'd find cilantro, you'd find pesto even, but not the noodles or the pasta noodle.
right. Okay.
You'd find everything else, but not the pasta.
Mm-hmm. And I think you could even find cheese.
Yeah,
Like,
cheese. My grandparent, my
I don't
Aunt
know
Patty,
if you would find Parmesan cheese.
not
but you
parm,
would- Yeah, you would probably
queso
find-
fresco,
Yeah, which is different.
which seasoning and aging, I guess, probably.
Not with that cheese, no. You would probably need to get some sort of like queso cotija. Maybe it's kind of like simulated, right? But
But yeah,
Mhm.
with my mom and my mom and I and my little brother Moy at that time went to that bodega Herrera. Was
yes,
this just a Sam's Club or a Pathmark or a
yes.
what's the other one? A Walmart, I guess. No, a Costco.
Okay.
We just go in and we get the pasta, we get the milk, we get the parm, and I don't know what else we got. And I think the ham, so that she can just scissor it up. What's the word for that? Dice it
Give
up.
me 1 sec, Marcos.
Yeah.
Keep going. Sorry.
Okay, but yeah, and she made the pastas. She bought it, and she bought it, paid for it there, and I think you have to get a membership to get in. So that's the big barrier there. But yeah,
Yes. Hello.
once my mom brought out the ingredients, she started cooking it up at home, and she's
Yes.
like, I'm gonna make pasta. Okay. And grandma comes back from running her errands with Aunt Patty and Uncle Tony, whatever. And like, what you doing? What's smelling? What you cooking up? Oh, I made you pasta. And Aunt Patty's, oh, because she lived in New Jersey and Queens and all that. Like, okay, I know what you're doing. She continued doing her thing, and then Uncle Tony, what is that? Like, and it's pasta. Like a 22-year-old, 23-year-old Uncle Tony, what is that? What you doing there? Can I try it? Yeah, sit down. We're gonna have food. And grandma's like, like this, how you eat it. You grab the fork and you spin it up and eat it like that. Okay. We got
Very
bread over
good.
here. She made like garlic bread, but
Nice.
she put it in like made already bread, and she just cut it up and put a little melted a little bit garlic sauce and just put it in the oven for a little bit and just put some melted butter with a touch of garlic in it.
Right.
You already know sticks of butter over there.
Delicious.
They're like yes, right there, like
Real
original butter. Yeah, not like I can't believe it's not butter or
Flakes.
is Country Crock.
I think
Technically
Country
butter?
Crock, I
Or is it
want to say
margarine?
it's like 50-50.
50 in knowledge, or
I think
you can is there a spectrum?
Hydrogenated oils.
Okay, but I know over there's just butter though.
Yeah,
straight
very
butter.
good butter.
And then she has like, okay, this is an Italian style. Obviously, she said I butchered it because I used this kind of ham, but you know, bon appetit. Literally says like, okay, and you see my brother just quiet, just and my uncle Tom's like, can I have a tortilla? What?
Yes.
No, it's a fork. What about this bread? Can I split up? No, you just eat on the sides and use it for dipping. Okay. And then grandma's like, So you guys have this over there? Yeah.
Yes.
There's even different sauces, and this is like a simple thing. Like there's a lot more.
Yeah, true.
And then Casablanca happened with the pizza shop over there.
But yeah, I remember we were actually talking about that maybe like 2 days ago.
Casablanca, the guys from here.
Yeah, but I think they're not originally from Jalisco. They're probably from another spot, but they
have 2 locations when I was there. One in the sticks. Like, why is a Casablanca here? Oh yeah, this is the first shop. The Casablanca there is the second location.
Well, actually, but I remember that it kind of went under, right? It kind of went bankrupt.
This is 2003, 2004. I wouldn't.
Yeah, because last time I went, I don't see it like being very
like
popular. There's other spots now. And
you go in Los Arcos, and there's an Oxxo now. I never knew there was an Oxxo. You turn onto that highway at the end of that, turn right, and follow that road.
Right.
On the right side of the road, you'd find Casablanca, but it's not there apparently.
So, from what I gathered last time I was there, and even now, like I haven't even been there in like a couple of years.
They would deliver, man.
Yeah, they don't do deliveries anymore apparently.
That guy on motoneta and the box of pizza. Here you go, sir. And like you guys, it's for Marcos. Yeah, no, we got you.
Oh, we already know, guy.
Yeah, and now it's coming in English. Hey, can I get a pepperoni pie? And like, oh yeah, I got you. Oh, he just wants blah blah blah. Why didn't he say it? He said it. He said it. Shush and get to work.
Do it. Yeah,
and,
no.
You know, and I would say it in English. And my uncle says, "What'd you tell him?" I said, "I just wanted a pepperoni pie." Like, what? What's that? You'll find out.
Yeah, no, and I think interestingly enough, like during these couple of years, like I want to say in the last
20 years already since I've been to Mexico. So
right, like in the last 2 years or so, we've gotten, well, even before 2 years, I want to say maybe now, Domino's has been over there in El Zócalo for like maybe
that's whack, man. Come on,
10 years. No, mind you,
it opened up when I was in middle school, in 2006.
Yeah. Mind you, I know what you're saying. I totally agree. But
they would say this is chef's kit.
No.
I smack. Casablanca wins.
I've had that type of conversation and argument with people already. I'm not saying that it's great nor good. I'm just saying it's there, and people gravitate towards it religiously.
Teenagers would go there. Kids would go like,
now over by where you were talking about in Aurrera.
Yeah,
no, in Aurrera.
Across the street. Pizza's not good. Yeah,
it's what's it called? Little Caesars.
The movie theater yeah.
No, not next to Plaza Clisco. I'm talking about across the street where Cerdad Week is.
It used to be a field, just a baldío.
Now there's actual stores. So
I went to play soccer there.
Yeah. Now there's a Little Caesars.
Hot and Ready's there.
Little Caesars. And next to Little Caesars, guess what's there? KFC.
And the Colonel.
Inside where the movie theater is in Plaza Clisco.
Yeah.
BK.
It's right. Why not Mickey D's at least?
Well, unless you're a franchise owner, if you have money to go put up a spot over there or shop.
Mickey D's.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried all of it. All of it in the sense
none of it is good, obviously.
I've tried the Domino's.
Trash.
Yeah, it's not. Obviously, I'm over here in New York. I'm not gonna compare pizza. I've had it not because it's something that I wanted. You know, I go to Mexico and I want.
And
Mexican
they say
food.
Until you're chef's kiss, right? Like
no.
And you look at them and like
no, it's not it.
It's like me saying Mexican food over there is better than here. No.
Gone to the BK. I don't particularly like their
stick with fries.
I don't particularly like burgers. The meats tastes
here, right?
funny. Over here I can tolerate it, but it's like to me over there it just tastes weird. You know where I've gone?
Burgers are better there.
I've gone to Carl's Jr. in Puebla.
In the city, I mean, I don't know the city. I'm not a city boy over there. I'm a Tisco boy.
Being in Puebla, when I'll go to the Krispy Kreme donut spot, and right next to it is El Carl.
Krispy Kreme?
And Carl's Jr. right next to it, right next to it. And I'll get a Carl's Jr. burger with French fries. That tastes very American. And then I'll go next door to get the Krispy Kreme.
What's Puebla's full name?
Puebla?
Yeah, Ciudad de Los Angeles, no?
I'm not sure.
Because
might
like
be.
that's basically LA by the sounds of it now.
No.
No, brother, please.
No. I've seen a Buffalo Wild Wings there.
If you see a
I've seen
Hooters, it's a
I
Hooters.
think there's a Hooters there. if I'm not
Brother, I
mistaken.
was joking.
I think there's one. No, but I've seen Starbucks
I'll
there.
create a membership.
Oh, there
to
you go.
this.
Starbucks is in Aclisco now.
No, Italian coffee for the win.
I don't like Italian coffee company.
Their black coffee is on point. They laughed me out, but I still liked it. Not the workers, my classmates.
My major issue with Italian coffee company is that it has 3 locations that I'm aware of, and I don't see the reason why they have such.
In the same town.
It to me like they want to replicate what Starbucks does without doing what Starbucks does, in the sense of like, bro, I go to the mall over there at what's that place called? The point being is that I'm walking in front of their location, my brother and I, and I ask Edgar, I'm like, I look towards him, I'm like, hey, do you see or do you smell what is not being,
I don't smell
created
coffee.
here?
You're gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yo, he's like, what do you mean? He's like, I tell him, it doesn't smell like coffee at all. There is no way that just the sign is gonna want me or allow me to want to go inside and ask for coffee. There's no smell
Enough
of
said,
coffee.
he said.
And he's like, yeah, you're right. I'm like, the point of having a coffee spot is for it to smell like coffee. That smell alone invites you to come inside and ask for coffee. It's not smelling like coffee. And it's such a, I guess you can say, a missed opportunity. Like even BK does that, at least when they start doing their flame broil, Whoppers or whatever.
Yeah.
You smell the actual meat sizzling, right? Or the waft of the food.
Of the
it
meats.
kind of invites you to go and buy.
They
But
have the meats.
it doesn't do that. You go to the one in El Zócalo, because they have 2 in El Zócalo, like one in
Across the
Zócalo
street
and
from
then
each other.
one across street. Like that's redundant. That makes no sense.
The first one was the one across the street before the being in the middle, in the
Right.
plaza in the middle.
Yeah.
That's the second one. The only one used to be on
the
the
corner.
edge. Yeah.
Right across the street from Domino's. I know.
Don't say that in my name.
No,
Don't say that.
exactly. And then you go to the one in the mall that I was there. You have Starbucks right outside, like by the parking lot on the side of the road. That one gets filled up at that coffee spot. You go to the one.
Oxo gets filled up.
Well, then again, Oxo probably has sells more coffee in that sense, right? And then down the block, up the street, you have the drive-through Italian coffee company, and it's like, why the hell do you have one so close by? And why is
Their marketing team is not as whack.
I think they just wanted to, for the sake of saying that we are the equivalent or we are the standard. It's like they I don't know how they keep their business afloat with the lack of people that I saw. But again, I don't know.
Zócalo probably is the main one. Your main 2.
But even then, like I've gone there, bro. It's never
Is
been
it
busy.
expensive?
The only one that's busy or where people buy coffee is when you go to the one inside the El Zócalo proper.
The Capilla.
Yeah.
How you say that in English?
Well, I don't know
Center.
if it's called Capilla. I think
The
it's
Center
called,
Plaza.
I want to call it like what's it called?
The Center.
Yeah. The little center building or whatever the case is. Right. So
When I was there, it was abandoned. The whole time that I was there, nothing was there. It was just disassembled. Like
yeah, no, they invested quite a bit of money. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to go online on YouTube and type in.
yeah, I've seen that
Noche
they
Navideñas.
revamped the place.
No,
But it's not my town.
No, like, yeah, obviously, bro, it's not neither of us' town. No, what I'm saying is like they have the wow, what's it called? La Villa Iluminada for Christmas.
Yeah, that's never. Yeah, my classmate is working there. Remember with tequilas?
Yeah, exactly. So if you've seen the last 2, like they've been, they're throwing the whole house out through the window. I'm talking about like they splurge.
The other thing that I've heard was that there's a tour now, a tour bus literally that takes you
Yeah, they
around.
have a trolley that goes around at least
A microbus, the one that I saw one.
No, they
like a
have a
microbus?
proper trolley, bro. Like a double decker, you're in London type of trolley.
Or San Francisco.
Well, that would be on a cable, but no,
Okay.
this one isn't on cables. This one is a proper, like a bus, like London type of bus, double decker
And
type of thing.
What does your heart say when you find with that?
I think that it's okay but I don't quite know who runs it. So it kind of makes me think that it's like whoever is the owner of it is the one that's benefiting it, right? Like many things in Mexico, it's like there's some quasi-government agencies that are behind
the
certain
Department
things.
of Tourism.
You would hope that it's that, but I don't know if it's officially that or someone just thought it was a good idea.
Imagine they just have a car's license driving that around.
Well, I don't know if that's at least tourism per se, or if it's some with a bit and they made it look
Again,
in order for them to.
I've only seen the microbus one, so there's multiple then apparently. I showed you the one that's like an hour long or 40 minutes, between 40 and an hour long, that the lady would go around like all of Mexico, and this time was Puebla, and specifically Atlisco. And she was saying that there's, look at this, a micro tour bus. And I guess it's a double-decker one if it's the one that we're talking about.
Right. So I've seen the double-decker one. I haven't seen the microbus one, but
did you get on it?
No, of course not. Not knowing who the hell owns it, I'm not gonna spend money on something that where it's like, dude, if it's not going to the government in the sense of like local government where they actually use the resources to beautify the place, have running water, have running electricity. Like there's so many things that I look at and I'm like, dang.
Like literally, if you go straight where Domino's Pizza is, if you follow that street to following right, that little intersection street just past that church, and then everything starts to get dilapidated when I was a kid.
Yeah, no, of course. The big reason why, not that I don't want to pay for certain services over there, it's just that, like, and I'll give you an example. When they started doing, sorry, yeah?
No, continue.
When they started doing the Vía Iluminada in Atlisco, there's another function or another thing running alongside it.
Example?
It's called Winter Wonderland, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So one is on behalf of the government, and then the other one, I believe, like and again, I don't know 100% like the story.
No facts.
Yeah, from what I could gather, right? I think he's some dude. I don't know if he's like some Lebanese immigrant or some other person out of state, or maybe that doesn't really live there. But he rents out this whole big spot in Atlisco, right close by. Kind of knowing that people are coming through for the countdown and the Vía Iluminada in Atlisco and proper in el centro, he puts his Winter Wonderland that runs alongside of it
so like on private property.
On private property. So he charges for the entrance fees, for all the games, for all the things that they provide. So it's not 100% free as compared to the Vía Iluminada that the city actually does, right? Because that's from their funds of the city. So he benefits without really doing any much propaganda. So all he has to do is set up shop right beside it and kind of point people towards it the day of. And then he collects the money, he pays off the machines or the workers there. And then he packs up and goes whenever he's done. Collects
like the
money.
Spirit of Halloween kind of style.
Right. So it's like, at that point, it's like, so that money is going into his pocket. No shame to him because he's being a hustler, right? To a certain extent. But at the same time, it's like, where's the opportunity for the local to do anything about putting up businesses and stuff like that? They wanted to give it to some random schmo that doesn't even probably live there, right? So that's my kind of like grievance with that. And
an example.
And then in my head, it's like, if there's people like that here, where it's like, okay, I see the benefit of putting a tourism bus, but if it's like, not because it's handled by the government, but I would hope that the money is going to not to just make a person that
line their pockets,
but in the sense of like they're kind of like in this example, like say they have 2-3 locations that are their locations, like say they own the bus, so, and they have 3 locations where they have places where they have other businesses going, right? And that tour bus shows them those spots because it's like a round business, right? So the money stays in their locations, in the trolley, and it doesn't benefit really anyone else besides that one owner. Now, okay, that would make sense, but if it's not something that's tied to the government. It's like you using the government as a front to benefit you. Right.
Kick it off, if you will, like to kickstart it, the event. He used a public event to kick off his, and him run his own racket on the side.
Right, exactly. And you're using kind of like that front of, well, yeah, this is government sanctioned.
Or seasonal. Or even government. I didn't think about it that way. Yeah.
So that's kind of like the reason why I'm iffy about going in and paying for certain services or certain things, where it's like, how do I know this is benefiting the actual people that need the actual business? Not just people that come through that don't even live here and they're just trying to line their pockets with tourism that should rightfully go to the people that are selling the plants in those viveros, right? That are having local stores with local food and local places, right? Giving
Let me
more
give you an
shine to the
example. No shame to him.
Yeah, no
shame to
course
him.
not.
But there's an example, like the guy that started the whole fair in September, when that you go up the hill and all those things to do the dances, the native dances.
Okay.
It wasn't started by the government.
Right.
It was started by, I think, a German guy or something. His name is Kayuki.
Really?
Yeah, he's not a native there. He just like, oh, I did in my youth, did explorations around the local area. Mind you, what kind of explorations? Him doing it in the 50s, in the 70s, in the 60s. Quote unquote, you already know what I'm trying to hint there. I was like, there's a lot of culture here. Why not, do an event? Government didn't want to sponsor it. Okay, then I'll sponsor it. I'll do it myself. And he went around to the different local towns up in the mountains and all those things, which he already made contacts ahead of with his own contacts. So he's like, I'm gonna make a party here. I'm gonna make stall at this time when it's close, but like start the beginning of Halloween, September, or just like before the cold season.
Okay.
And you guys do your dances. No tickets, just to promote whatever cultural events you have. But then there's a whole street stalls and all those things in the bottom. So if anything, the locals get the benefits. And he says, don't talk to me. I just point you to the location and I'll just schedule the venue and that way people can go. And then he talked with the government, but then I don't know who gets paid in all those things. That's my question on that story. But it's when my dad was a kid, that didn't happen. When my mom was a kid, this was in 70s, 80s. It never started. It started in the 2000s.
I see.
So when I went in 1999, it wasn't there.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Another one that I actually have gone, and I think it's something that is beneficial, would be El Mirador.
Right? That's new, like within the past 10 years.
I don't know how new it really is, but the fact that you have like this nice
glass dome.
Yeah, glasscape, right? Yeah, overlooking the city. I think that's very nice. I think that's something that people can actually go and do. And it's a great exercise for people that want to walk it. Other than that, bro, like I'm pretty sure there's other ways that the local government can actually like push for better, I guess you can say, infrastructure to help people, the locals, to have more people come in and look at their artisans, because I think it's very important, but also to not only help them, but also use the resources that are coming in to help better the infrastructure, like more lights at nighttime, like maybe better policing, better streets, and things of that nature.
So, a cursory research says that the Atliscayo festival is Atlisco, Puebla, Mexico, has roots in a pre-Hispanic Nahuatl people in the area, but it wouldn't be celebrated as it is today without the inspiration of a New Yorker.
Of course it is.
Of a New Yorker who helped revive it. The festival honors the Archangel Michael and the vibrant celebration of traditional dances and cultural expressions. But yeah, Kayuki, the guy's name is Kayuki. Like we're like I don't know if he's Asian by this point now.
It could be possible, bro.
But he was still alive, again. Guys like, why you guys have awesome things in different towns? In again, el Ahuehuete or el Way de Tliscaya. But again, these are just Native American words. I don't even know he's Mexican. He's a foreigner. That's what. Yeah. It started with the ball rolling since 1965.
Mm-hmm.
Now, imagine that. Like, obviously, the dances and all those things, natives did it, on that hill pre-Hispanically for thousands of years.
Right.
Because the name of the place, and natively, it's place where the dragon rests. So they
Good
would go
Lord.
there. Now,
What is this?
what do you mean?
The place where the dragon rests.
Yeah, what's the name of the feathered dragon? Place where the feathered dragon rests.
My goodness. I was gonna say Huitzilopochtli, but
No. Hey, that's different. That's different.
what is dude's
It's
name?
from the My Dragon Maid.
Yeah, Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl, yeah. But in this one, it says place where the dragons, multiple, not singular.
How did we get the reference right from an anime, bro? I'm tight. I'm
Brother,
mad at myself.
brother, please.
Brother,
But you know what? Brother, no, brother. Bless up, brother, bless up.
oh,
No,
okay,
Alan,
I'm
no.
dying,
breathe,
bro.
breathe, no.
I'm dying out here.
New word of the I'm weak.
Man, Riz, my friend, a Riz.
There you go. That's the episode. Rise up,
A Riz.
rise up with your food game. What? Bring your rise your money up, not your funny up. No, both.
Get your money up, not your funny up.
No, both, man, both. And with that quote, would you like to call it a night today, Mr. Al? Sensei?
Definitely, bro. Sounds like a plan, bro. We'll
Okay,
pick it up
because
next
you'll be dying
recording.
over there. I don't want you to be weak. Get strong, rest up.
Definitely, bro. Sounds like a plan.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us, lending us your ears, just chatting about stuff, about
Definitely.
food, somehow anime. we bonded over anime
Arigato
again.
gozaimasu.
Again. And talked about the hometown, Mr.
Yes.
Allen over here. Can't believe I came here into the country 2007. It's almost going to be 20
Well,
years.
you were born here. What do you... you were born here, you left, and then
Brother.
you came back.
They're like, brother. You're like, mijo.
You were here until what age?
Whatever age was 2001.
That age.
Left in the... No. My mom's incident. So,
Okay.
so I was in 4th grade. That's all I can tell you.
Okay. So whatever a 4th grader is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went to school over there. I was like, yes. Beautiful thing. My first teacher was the same name as my mom.
That's nice.
I'm like, Letty, mom. I mean, because you don't say their last name over
Right,
there.
right.
You say, teacher Letty. No, that's my mom's name. I need to respect it.
How dare you?
Mom. No. What you say? Nothing, mom. I mean, teacher.
Yes.
But in Spanish, you say mommy. You're like, what?
Oh, yeah, mami. Pero ¿qué es lo que tú
No,
quieres,
not Caribbean. You say
mami?
the Mexican style.
I'm sorry.
See, mommy. No, mommy.
Hey.
Yes, teacher. And she obviously
Hit
knew that I
her
was.
with the deep voice, the deep muggle. Hola, mami.
Whoa, pause. Mommy. See, ma. No, ma. Yes, ma.
That's
But
good
yeah.
stuff. Good stuff.
And with that, I want everyone to rise up.
A Riz, if you will.
Yes. Arisen. But yeah, with that, you know where to follow us, everyone. And remember to wash your hands, comb your hair, and Alan.
Oh, yes. My name is Jeff.
His name Jeff. No. Everyone.
I apologize. Have a great, wonderful, happy rest of this April month that we're living through. Yeah, I hope to catch you guys in the next one.
Cover up and bless up, everyone. Stay frosty.